Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Welcome once again. If you have been a regular, if not, we welcome you for the first time to the most bizarre and embarrassing piece of bandwidth since Logan Paul showed that dead guy on his vlog. This is GainerWorld Live. My name is Tim Gainer. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And what a great way to waste an hour on a Friday night. If you're a regular here, I certainly do appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who stops by. If you're new to our little shindig, if you're about to look for hard-hitting entertainment, if you're about to look for laughter, if you're about to look for anything that has any entertainment value whatsoever, this is not the place. Okay? Just that simple. Actually, what we do is we come in here every Friday night, and we just kind of let our hair down for an hour and talk about things that are happening in the news. And maybe play a song or two on a guitar that I've got back around in this way. And we have a chat that is right there. You can see it for yourself. It is right there. Instead of having to go all the way over here to look at the YouTube chat, if we're live, you can go right there and listen to it and see it in all of its splendor and glory. If you are watching the replay of this on YouTube, doesn't mean you can't join in the chat. You can always leave a comment down below. You can always do that, and we will get back to you. We definitely will respond to you sometime. We will definitely do that. Just like Kaylee Lentz has popped in. Hey, Kaylee, always good to see you, hon. Thanks for coming in here. Appreciate that. It says, give yourself more credit. There's entertainment here. Yeah, okay. There's no accounting for taste. But anyway, we do appreciate you popping in. And lots of things going on this week. As a matter of fact, let me get right into this. I want to thank everybody that, pardon me. I want to thank everybody on Thursday who joined us for the premiere of our documentary, Hugs, The History of Hugs, Confessions of a Button Pusher. If you haven't heard about this, it's about a year ago, the folks at Hugs were commissioned to make a documentary about how they started. We were going to go into the television thing, and well, it kind of fell through, and we had this documentary sitting around, and we were all wondering to ourselves, well, you know, what are we supposed to do with this? So we have this documentary that is on the Hugs YouTube channel, and after you're done here, by all means, check it out. It is a very nicely put together documentary, if I do say so myself, on the history of the Homegrown Underground Sound Show, how it started from a little thing in Pennsylvania, a little part 15, 24-watt station in a little town in Pennsylvania, and has just blown in and turned into this worldwide phenomenon that it has. So by all means, check it out. I really hope that you do. There's lots of great interviews on there. Myself, Cyrus Gray, Megan Paulette, Professor Heine Bach, Scott Pegram of Yiga Digga, Alan White is in there. Just lots of great people. So yeah, by all means, definitely check it out. You won't be disappointed, and it's hey, it's like I said, it's a cool way to kill a half hour. So, Confessions of a Button Pusher, the history of Hugs on the Hugs YouTube channel. When you get a chance, by all means, I'd appreciate it if you kind of popped over there and checked it out. Because, like I said, it's something that I particularly and we as a whole are very, very proud of. Also, speaking of Hugs 24/7 Radio, I always want to remind you because, well, that's, the kind of people that we are, that right after this little piece of cow swallop that we meticulously slapped together, don't forget that the good folks at Hugs 24/7 Radio, Cyrus Gray, will be bringing you the Hugs Top 10 Countdown, the top 10 unsigned independent artists in the world and their songs from the Hugs Top 200 chart. That's coming up 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central on Hugs 24/7 Radio, HUGSATWRGG.com, Hugs at WRGG.com. Spell it all out. It's a great show, great music, great people that deserve to be heard. They really do deserve to be heard. So by all means, check all that out. Now, all that in mind, I told you this has been a crazy week. It has been a crazy week. And in fact, well, what can I say? Last week, I was happy enough when somebody in the chat went, well, what about the Deadpool? Why we ain't got no Deadpool? Because nobody died. It was great. I thought maybe we're past the worst of it. Yeah. Then this week popped in. Let's just get it over with. Let's just get this over with. Let's get into the Deadpool report. Let's see what we can do about it. Kicking off this week's Deadpool report, it was a bad week for a lot of people. First off, it started on Sunday. It started on Sunday when we heard about the death of Tom Verlaine. Now, if you don't know who Tom Verlaine is, it's okay if you don't know the name. But the fact of the matter is, as far as influences in guitar, you absolutely positively need to. Tom Verlaine was the guitarist with a very, very influential band in the 70s, television. He literally redefined rock guitar in the punk era. He died Saturday in Manhattan at the age of 73. This was confirmed by Jessie Paris Smith, who was the daughter of his former partner. It says here, Patti Smith. This is according to Variety. She shared that the musician had died after a brief illness. Now, in all fairness, television only made 2 albums. But it was their first album, Marquee Moon, that was released in 1977. That, wow, the lead vocal, the extended solos. It was an anomaly at the time. I mean, remember, this is during the fledgling days of punk, where songs were about maybe a minute and a half. 2 minutes if you were lucky. So, you had the title track, which was about 10 minutes long. And, but this was such an influential album. It influenced everybody. The Ramones, Talking Heads, Sonic Youth. They did make a second album, Adventure, in 1978 that was not that well received, but they would break up after that. But they did get back together for an album in 1992 and a couple of live appearances. Tom himself released 8 solo albums, which I did not know. And One of them was an instrumental set called Around, which was released on an independent label here in Chicago called Thrill Jockey Records. But yeah, one of the influencers in punk music, unfortunately, Tom Verlaine, he is gone. That's what kicked off the week. That's what kicked off the week. From there, oh yeah, it only gets better. Trust me. On Tuesday, we find out that Floyd Sneed had passed. Now, again, this is one of those people that you don't know, but the minute I tell you who he played with, you'll go, oh, yeah, that's true. He was the drummer with one of the biggest pop bands of the late 60s, Three Dog Night. And he was just an incredible drummer. He was one of my influences growing up. Just a monster sound. One of the first double bass players that, with the exception of Ginger Baker at the time that I knew anyway. He died at the age of 80 on Tuesday. This was posted on the group's Facebook page, noting, and this is a quote from bestclassicbands.com, Floyd broke many barriers both musically and culturally. No cause of his death was given, but he was called a wonderfully, again, this is a quote, an absolutely wonderful human being, a complete original and a sweetheart of a man. He was also an extraordinarily unique drummer who brought so much to Three Dog Night's sound. He broke many barriers both musically and culturally. He also influenced countless other drummers with his amazing technique, and yeah, present company included on that one. The man, again, the man was a monster. He'll be greatly missed by all of us in the band, many musicians, artists, and others he inspired throughout his life. Chuck Negron from the band, from Three Dog Night, he paid tribute to him on his Facebook page. A wonderful man, friend, musical peer that has passed on to the next part of the journey. Floyd Sneed was a unique and powerful drummer, and more importantly, a special and kind human being. I'll always cherish the times he stayed with my wife Amy and I at our home, and the hours we spent spinning tales of our youth when we were kings. I love you, Floyd, and will keep you in my heart always. If you don't know about Three Dog Night, and how could you not, in all sincerity, the string of hits they had. One, Joy to the World, Mama Told Me Not to Come, Black and White, Sure As I'm Sitting Here, just an amazing, so Easy to Be Hard, just an amazing string of hits. They were a great band, but Floyd, and I noticed, if you notice, I'm putting up the album cover to their 1971 album Naturally here. And the reason I'm doing that is if you want an example of how good Floyd Sneed was as a drummer, listen to the track One Man Band off of this album, which was also, by the way, a top 10 hit for the band in 71. The originality, the fact that he was a pop drummer with a double bass sound, he could hang in the pocket, he could pop in and just give you this monster riff and go back to holding it down. Just amazing. Just an amazing, amazing drummer. And he influenced this guy from Chicago to play drums. I will definitely tell you that. But again, yeah, unfortunately, Floyd Sneed, gone at the age of 80, the drummer from Three Dog Night. If that's not enough for you, we also had the passing of Barrett Strong. One of Motown's original hit makers is gone at the age of 81. Again, you cannot say enough about this guy. He had a hit on his own. He was one of the original hit makers for Motown with Money. That's what I want. Oh, give me money. You've heard the song. I'm sure you have. But he was also one of those people that had a string of hits that he wrote or co-wrote with other Motown artists. A lot of them having to do with the Temptations. Ball of Confusion, Cloud 9, I Can't Get Next to You, Just My Imagination, Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Yes, Barrett Strong wrote all of these, or co-wrote all of these. Also wrote for The Undisputed Truth in 1972, Smiling Faces Sometimes. Great jam. War with Edwin Starr. In 1969, the great anti-war jam. Just an amazing writer. An amazing writer. He's gone at the age of 81. Again, it was confirmed last Sunday by the Motown Museum. And unfortunately, no cause of death, but another one that kind of went by the wayside. So, hail and farewell to Barrett Strong. And, of course, we got to get to the big one. Well, not so much. I mean, all of these are kind of sad, but we got to get to the one that everybody has been talking about the last couple of days. And, unfortunately, that is Cindy Williams. If you're a TV nut, and who isn't, you turn on TV Land, you turn on, Nickelodeon at night or whatever the case may be. Cindy Williams, she was Shirley Feeney in Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley. She's gone yesterday at the age of 75. According to Variety, Williams' children, Zach and Emily Hudson, they told the AP through family spokesman Lisa Cranis that Cindy died in L.A. on January 25th after a brief illness. So they just now are letting people know about this. And the news was also posted on Cindy's official website. The passing of our kind, hilarious mother, Cindy Williams, has brought us insurmountable sadness that can never really truly be expressed, according to a statement. Knowing her and loving her has been our joy and privilege. She was one of a kind, beautiful, generous, and possessed a brilliant sense of humor and a glittering spirit that everyone loved. Yeah, this one's a little different. This one kind of a little closer to home because, we all know, I mean, she got her break. Her big break, of course, was in when she started in Happy Days, and of course they spun off Laverne and Shirley as a result of that. But what a lot of people don't remember, I mean, she had, before that she had she had little roles in Room 222, Nanny and the Professor, Love American Style, things like that. But her real break came in 1973. You might remember that she was Laurie Henderson in American Graffiti. Got her a BAFTA nomination for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. And then she went on to score a role in Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation in 1974, alongside Gene Hackman, Harrison Ford, and Robert Duvall. But it was Laverne and Shirley that did it for her. It was Laverne and Shirley that did it. And that's what everybody, of course, remembers her for, even though she did a lot of other stuff in, even after that, up into the 90s. She was in sitcoms like Normal Life, Getting By. She was in other films like Strip Mall, For Your Love, 8 Simple Rules, Girlfriends. And as a matter of fact, she and the late Penny Marshall reunited for an episode of Nickelodeon's Sam and Cat, in which they played the creators of a 70s sitcom. So yeah, that's hail and farewell to Cindy Williams. On top of everybody else that went out and went and left us this week. That'll do it for now. I think that's more than enough. Yeah. Rough week. Rough week, to say the least. And by all means, if anybody wants to, if you have comments on that, if you have Favorite moments about any of those folks? Let me know. You can talk to us here in the chat room. You can do that. We'll let you do that. It'll be fine. Really. If you're watching it live, you can watch it right here instead of straining your neck all the way over here to have to watch the thing. And if you're watching the replay, of course, you can comment in the comments down there. And we will answer you. We will answer you. We can do that. We have time travelers. They take care of that stuff. Expensive things. Expensive stuff, too. Kaylee just comes out and says no comment. Yeah. Well, here's something else we can all comment on. Something that, yeah. Something that we talk about every year, long about this time here on the show. And, of course, I'm talking about the music industry and the Recording Conspiracy's favorite smoking club. Of course, I'm talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, if you've been paying attention this week, and unless you've gone into a coma over half of these, you will know that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has put out the slate of 14 nominees for the class of 2023. This is the full lineup of artists that have been nominated, that have been selected by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's nominating committee. Who is the nominating committee? Past Hall members, obviously people in the Recording Conspiracy, Jan Wenner and his band of merry henchmen. My hatred for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has become absolutely delicious, but I find this every year not only totally pathetic, but rather amusing. In that the people that they are choosing as compared to the people they should be choosing. And you can go back to past shows where I rant about this and the people that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not going to waste your time with this year. Kaylee is saying, I'm actually surprised I haven't heard anything about this on the morning show I tune into at work. Yeah, it's gotten to the point where people just don't care anymore because they all know that this is a joke. But here is the official list in alphabetical order of the lineup of artists that have been selected as contenders for the class of 2023 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The nominees are Kate Bush, Sheryl Crow, Missy Elliott. Why? I don't know. They think that, hip-hop is now part of rock and roll. I don't know. Other nominees include Iron Maiden. Again. Cyndi Lauper, who I will admit does deserve a shot. And we'll get into that in a minute. Other nominees, George Michael. Another nominee, well, we couldn't get Dolly Parton in last year. Let's see if Willie Nelson will take the bait this year to make us look halfway relevant. Another contender for the 2023 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class induction is Rage Against the Machine. Again. There's also Soundgarden. About time we tried to get this group in here, the Spinners. A Tribe Called Quest. Really? There's also the White Stripes. And for the umpteenth time until somebody decides to get it right, Warren Zevon. Now, there's 8 of these people that are in for the first time. Missy Elliott, Warren Zevon, Willie Nelson, The White Stripes, Sheryl Crow, Cyndi Lauper, George Michael. Oh, as well as also that's in there, and my apologies for not having them in the lineup, was Joy Division and New Order. They're also in the running. I neglected to put their picture in into the band. I'm sorry. I apologize. So the other 6 are coming back in after multiple times. Like, for example, you've got Kate Bush, who has been nominated in the past. This will give you an idea of what I'm talking about when I tell you that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has devolved into a major smoking club. Kate Bush has been nominated in 2018, 2021, and up to last year. But, of course, we all know that, running up that hill made it on Stranger Things, so she's cool now. So I guarantee you she's going to get in this year. You heard it here first. Guaranteed. Why? Because she was on a TV show. Meanwhile, Rage Against the Machine, this is their 4th nomination. They were nominated in 2018, 2019, and 2021. The Spinners have been up previously. They have been they've been up 3 previous times, 2012, 2015, 2016. Soundgarden, Iron Maiden, and A Tribe Called Quest. They're all on the ballot for a second time this year, having been nominated once in the recent past. In 2021 and 22. And yeah, then you've got people like... And I just don't understand this one. Missy Elliott. Now, granted, she's been in the business for more than 25 years, which is one of the reigning criteria of getting into the Rock Hall. And again, I gotta say it. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has to do with artists that were innovators and originators of the genre and helped advance and further it. Supa Dupa Fly is not something I would consider innovative. Except that maybe she was one of the first female rappers. On the other hand, the White Stripes are completely worthy of it. They didn't release a full album until 1995, but, come on. To 1999, rather. They totally deserve it. What they did for alternative rock with their slew of albums is just... And don't even get me started about the rest of Jack White's catalog. But these are the people that got considered for nomination. Okay? The people that were not considered this year, that were eligible for the first time this year. Now check out this list. Coldplay, Lauryn Hill. Yeah, forget Missy Elliott. Get Lauryn Hill in there. The Seduction of Miss Lauryn Hill was an amazing album. Of course, her work with Arrested Development. Destiny's Child. Everybody's Beyonce fan. Just saying. Queens of the Stone Age. Nothing. This is also the first year, and I don't agree that she should be in there. is Britney Spears. Should Brit be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Let me know in the comments here, and let me know in the comments down there. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think this would have been another ploy of, oh, look at the number of albums she sold. Did she do anything for pop music in the 90s? Not really. You know. Other people were P. Diddy. I'm kind of on the fence on that one. But, again, given the choice between him and Missy Elliott, yeah. Mos Def, Muse, and Def Cab for Cutie. Now, there's one I did not think about. There is one I did not think about. In the late 90s. You know, it looks like... It looks to me is maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's just because... maybe it's just a case of people are tired of it. But they're trying to get rid of the 70s rock acts, 50s and 60s, the acts. And I'm talking people that actually furthered the cause, so to speak. But definitely the Spinners. They totally deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, my God, the string of hits that they had. How Could I Let You Get Away? Could It Be I'm Falling in Love? Rubber Band Man, I'll Be Around. The cover they did of Working My Way Back to You. They were an amazing group. Just an amazing group. And then again, this is I found out this is his first time. I thought I had seen him once before. But he deserves to be in there. What's wrong with Warren Zevon? You know, he's never gotten a nomination until now. You know, granted, the only thing that he did that was popular, and let me stress the word popular, was, of course, Werewolves of London. Excitable Boy, the Excitable Boy album alone justifies his being in there. But again, this is like his body of work was amazing, absolutely amazing. But we'll see what happens. That is the list of nominees for now. The actual nominees coming out of this slate will be announced in May. It hasn't been revealed what city the ceremony will be held in this year, although they have this beautiful building that you see right there in Cleveland. Why wouldn't you want to utilize it, you idiots? They always shuffle between Cleveland and New York, according to the folks in Variety. An occasional detour in L.A. And, of course, it will be taped for later viewing on HBO. And there will be, and later on, there will be, when they finally get down to the final list of nominees, they will be giving people, giving the fans the what's called the fan vote. I can't remember what they call it, but it's all the fans will vote for their favorite nominee, and whoever comes out on top, that will act as one vote to the final selection committee, and will be included in the list of nominees, which is a fun thing. But I'm beginning to think more and more that that's just a crock, that really it's all down to Jan and his band of merry henchmen as to who really sold the most records and who's the coolest. And it has nothing to do with music anymore. It has nothing to do with the genre of rock and roll and its furtherment or its innovation anymore. That crap went out the window probably about 15, 20 years ago. And it's really sad. Jan, you could have done so much better, but you turned this thing into a damn smoking club. When the final nominees come out, I'll replay my little rant. I won't go into it here because you just don't want that right now. Let's check the tote board here. Cyrus Gray has popped in before his show to say that he wants John Hyatt and Devo for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think Devo's in. I have to look that up. I think Devo's in already. John Hyatt, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Muse, Kaylee wants Muse. There's other things on here too. Marshall Tucker. And then we start knocking the state of Ohio. Here we go. Here's what I was looking forward to. Record sales, if you're going that way, Falco. No, stop it. That's too stupid even for Jan Wenner. Okay. Kaylee says they don't do it in Cleveland because it's in Ohio, and who wants to go there? There is that. Ohio is under construction. The whole freaking state. Should have put it in Pittsburgh or Steubenville. I do remember one of the when I was going to broadcast school for radio, one of the big stories at the time was they were trying to decide what city the hall actually should be in. Chicago was in the running. So was Philadelphia, Cleveland, and I want to say Memphis. I may be wrong about that. But I remember that. So yeah. So that's what's up with that. That is what is happening with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There is one more story that I think I might have neglected here as I scroll frantically through my notes here real quick. And that is that. Well, let's do this one. And Cyrus needs to know, did he miss the Deadpool? Of course you missed the Deadpool. You always miss the Deadpool. Just stop it. But you know what? Let's talk about some good news. With everything that's going crazy right here. Well, no, you know what? Let me do this. And I'm going to kind of do this from memory because, again, this is one of those times where I had the print and the people didn't print it. So anyway, there's some bad news for fans of Ozzy Osbourne. According to Rolling Stone, according to this, and we all know that Ozzy has tried so hard to put together his farewell tour, no more tours. He wanted to retire, and he wanted to retire in style, and he had this world tour all figured out. But according to Rolling Stone, after his contracting COVID, he's told people that he has Parkinson's. He's undergone a couple of surgeries. The sad part is that the Ozman has finally come out and said that he, in fact, has to cancel the tour completely. As of right now, Ozzy Osbourne is retired from the road. He can no longer tour. Just the other day, he printed something on his Twitter page that said, this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to share with my loyal fans. As you all may know, 4 years ago this month, I had a major accident where I damaged my spine. My one and only purpose during this time was to get back on stage. My singing voice is fine. However, after 3 operations, stem cell treatments, endless physical therapy, sessions, and most recent groundbreaking cybernetics treatment, I guess that is, HAL treatment, don't know what that is, my body is still physically weak. I'm honestly humbled by the way you've all patiently held on to your tickets for all this time, but in all good conscience, I now have come to the realization that I'm not physically capable of doing my upcoming European UK tour dates, as I know I couldn't deal with the travel required. Believe me when I say that the thought of disappointing my fans really fucks me up more than you'll ever know. Never would I have imagined that my touring days would have ended this way. My team is currently coming up with ideas for where I'll be able to perform without having to travel from city to city and country to country, he said, tongue-tied. I want to thank my family, my band, my crew, my longtime friends, Judas Priest, and of course my fans for their endless dedication, loyalty, and support, and for giving me the life I never dreamed I would have. I love you all. Ticket refunds are available at the point of purchase. So that's as sad as it is, but as understandable as it is. We have seen the last of Ozzy on the road. I will say this. I am extremely impressed with the fact that this time around, Sharon Osbourne, his wife and his manager, has come out and said that, no, this is it. He's too sick. He's too weak. He's not going back on the road. So God bless Sharon for that. That means that she's really taking good care of him. Chris Semenek has popped in from Yigga Digga. Hey, Chris, always good to see you. He says Ozzy should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist. I agree with that completely. Blizzard of Oz, Bark at the Moon, Tales of a Madman. His last album, Patient Number 9, which was unbelievable, just a great album. Surprisingly great, as a matter of fact. A lot of people wrote that album off, but boy, did he come out of nowhere with that. It would have been cool to see him live, says Kaylee. I agree with everybody. But yeah, unfortunately, hopefully this doesn't keep him out of the studio. He says his singing voice is fine, and if his Parkinson's will allow him, yeah, maybe we can get a couple more albums out of him. But, of course, we wish the best for the Oz man. We really do. Your health before anything, guy. Your health before anything. Sharon, take care of him. He's the only Ozzy we got. But, yeah, it's really, really sad. But, again, if you consider the life this guy had, how many times did he come close to death? And I'm not talking from just the drugs or the drinking. Messed up his spine. He had remember the ATV accident during the Osbournes? And they let him get on a four-wheeler. And he'd never driven a four-wheeler. And he's Ozzy Osbourne, so we all know how that ended up. But to me, that was the beginning of the end, as far as his physical health went. But it's sad. It really is sad. Cyrus wants to know, is Ozzy heading onto a square on the Deadpool? I don't know. I don't think so. He's still in relatively good shape. He's only like, 70, 71, something like that? He's not that old. But again, with everything that's going on with him right now, who's to say? As a matter of fact, and I should put this on the show, because somebody sent me something on my Facebook page about the people that are with us that were some of the innovators. Pardon me. People that well, let's just say that if you were a betting man, these people could end up on the Deadpool. I think I'll put that in next week. Well, I'll take a look at that in some morbid, sick way. Kaylee says, technically, we all have a place waiting for us at the Deadpool. Yeah, no, but the Deadpool, see, it's all in who goes first. Okay? How many have you got on your card for the year? There's a difference. I personally am not opting for a place this week, anyway. But you know what? Let's get into some good news. Let's get into some good news, shall we? You know, we've been kind of on a bummer here this week on the show. I'm trying real hard not to be. Let's talk some good news. Let's talk some exciting news. Is Barrett Strong in the... Okay, Chris is asking, speaking of the Deadpool, is Barrett Strong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I really don't know. He should be. He totally should be. Without question. If he's not, hey, get him in. Get him in. Half of Motown's catalog was because of Barrett Strong. Let's call it what it is. Speaking of people who are alive and well and kicking and are ready to just knock us off our feet one more time, the following news, I hope you're sitting down. I really do. I hope you're sitting down. Try to remain calm. Take this as slowly as you can. Big, deep, cleansing breath. Let it out. In. Let it out. Let it out. Beyonce's going on tour. I tried to tell you, be calm. But it's true. It's true. Queen Bey, she is going on the road. She is heading to a city near you. Oh, yeah. It is the Renaissance World Tour, announced the other day. Yes, indeed. She is going to be going on one of probably the bigger tours that she has been on for a long time. This is her first tour in 6 years, by the way. Which is really wild. This is in support of her new album by the same name, Renaissance. I am not even going to try to explain how to get tickets. As a matter of fact, tickets we'll talk about in just a minute or two, because there's all kinds of, because of all the problems that Ticketmaster and Live Nation are having lately. Yeah. I'm not even going to try to get into that. You can go to her website, or you can go to the Ticketmaster website and try to figure it out. It'd take more than the 13 minutes that I have left to explain this to you. But I will tell you this. I will tell you that she is going to be starting... She's going to be kicking off the tour in Toronto on July 8th at the Rogers Center. Chris and everybody else, she's going to be in Philadelphia at the Lincoln Financial Field on July 12th. She's coming here to Chicago. She's selling out Soldier Field on July 22nd. Playing MetLife Stadium on the 29th. Heinz Field in Pittsburgh on August 3rd. She's going to be playing the Hard Rock Stadium on August 18th in Miami. Then she's swinging west. But after a stop-off in St. Louis at the Dome of America Center, she'll be in Phoenix at the State Farm Stadium on August 24th. San Francisco, she'll be at Levi Stadium on August 30th. SoFi Stadium in L.A. on September 2nd. Swinging back through Kansas City, Dallas, Houston, and then it looks like the American leg of this tour will end up on September 27th at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. So yeah, so that's what's going on now. And even right now, and I see the tote board firing up. People are asking, I wonder how ticket sales are going to go, considering how well the Taylor Swift thing went, according to Kaylee. Cyrus is saying at $1,400 a pop, I'd rather drop $100 to go see Yiga Dig and Lattimore Sky. I gotta go with that one, quite honestly. And people are asking, I mean, the tickets are not even on sale. They haven't even announced when tickets are going to go on sale, even the pre-sale. But, believe it or not, the tickets, okay, now according to Rolling Stone, tickets won't hit the market until next week. But the scalper and the scalper sites, the quote premium sites, are now, right now, as of this recording, as of February 3rd, 2023, they're posting listings for as much as $3,000 a ticket. And they don't even have them yet. Okay? StubHub, Vivid Seats, SeatGeek, all these clowns that will buy up the premium tickets and sell them for 10 times the price. They're trying to pull this. For example, some of the best seats for the show at SoFi Stadium that we talked about in September in LA, these are selling at Vivid Seats for $3,064 per ticket. Let me repeat this price, and then you wonder why Congress is getting involved. According to Rolling Stone, this is a direct quote. As of publication, which was yesterday, and as of today, the time of the recording of this show, February 3rd, 2023, some of the best seats for Beyonce's SoFi Stadium show in Los Angeles in September are speculatively selling for $3,064 per ticket on Vivid Seats. The cheapest nosebleeds were listed at just a little south of $600, $570. The MetLife show in July, MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The nosebleeds are listed at over $600, with some of the lower bowl seats going at over $1,800 each. Kaylee's putting it bent. So basically, if I want a ticket, we would need to sell an arm, a leg, a testicle, our firstborn, and that's after taking out a mortgage. Yeah, pretty much. And it's, again, this all harkens back to just the garbage. Congress is looking into Live Nation and Ticketmaster as being a monopoly, but then you've got these clowns like SeatGeek and StubHub that buy up the premium tickets and sell them at 10 to 15 times the face value. Isn't that illegal? Oh, wait, that's right. Handling fees. I don't think so. I really don't think so. It's really sad. At least it'll be real music. Now, again, music. I've always said this: music is art, and art is subjective. And I can think of a couple of songs that B's done that I like. All the Single Ladies. I really dug the heck out of that one. And I can't remember. There was one song on the album that she did when she found out about Dre cheating, allegedly. But no, I've liked Bey's stuff. I've always liked Beyonce's stuff. I liked her stuff with Destiny's Child. She's a great singer. She's a terrific dancer. And she deserves, she has garnered respect. Even if she did marry the rich rap artist that is now worth close to $1 billion. I'm not making any implications. I'm just saying. But, so that's what's going on. And I've always said, stay away from the scalpers. Just stay away from the scalpers. Nobody, present company included, nobody's worth spending 10 times the amount of money. People work for a living. And anybody who's a musician or a performer understands that. And if you remember in your heart that you would not be there if it wasn't for them. The listener buys your records. The listener buys your streams. The listener buys the tickets for your shows. But they can't afford anywhere between $300 and $2,000 for just a ticket for a 90-minute show. It's not worth it. I, as a musician, do not condone this in any way, shape, or form. But, Tim, it'll make you rich. I don't care. I really don't care. I've played for free for years. I'm one of those ancient, rare breeds that believes that the music is the thing. That entertaining the audience is the thing. Now, do I need money to live? Sure. I'd like to be able to pay my hotel bill, and I'd like to be able to pay my gas to get home. I'd like to have some food along the way. But at the end of the day, it's still all about, to quote Mick Jagger, it's still all about all the beer you can drink and the girls in the front row. It's... And when I hear about stuff like this, it's... But they put on such a big stage production, and they have to have so many people on tour, and they have to have all the technicians and pyrotechnicians and lighting people and sound people. Yes, I'll agree that takes a lot of money, but not so much where you have to make such a profit, where at the end of the year, Rolling Stone will list people like Beyonce grossing $300 million for her tour, or the Stones making $375 million or whatever it was for their last tour. Come on, Mick. Have you forgotten? Have you forgotten when you played the checkerboard down here on Halstead back in 89? When you jammed with Muddy Waters and Buddy Guy? What was the door? $5? Those people still exist. And those people deserve to be entertained. They do not deserve to be fleeced. And that's something that I will still really fight hard for. In fact, pardon me, Hugs Fest this year. Doesn't most of the money go to the labels anyway, says Kaylee. Don't even get me started, bro. Don't get me started. That's another rant for another day. And thank goodness we're out of time. Because I would be going off on that one. Anyway, thank you so much. We are going to get out of here. Don't forget, right after this, head on over to hugsatwrgg.com, hugsatwrgg.com. Cyrus Gray will have the Hugs Top 10 Countdown. Speaking of great music, the top 10 unsigned independent artists from around the world, from the Hugs Top 200 charts. You want to hear that. Some great music coming up then. I certainly do appreciate it. And we will be back here with... we'll be back in our places with sunshiny faces next week. Yes, we will. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Hey, do me a favor, will you? If you're new, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that YouTube stuff. Kaylee, appreciate it. Always great kicking it with you. Hopefully next week is a bit better. It always is, my brother. It always is. Like Andy says, Sun's going to shine on your back door one day. Do me a favor. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. In other words, if you like it, hey, you know what to do. We'll see you next week. We are... Whoa!